Welcome to the Maria Liberati Show, where food meets art, travel, and life. What does food mean to you? This week, I have as my special guest, he's become a regular. Once a year, Frankie Imbergamo always comes on, and we have so much fun. He is an actor, chef, author, expert on Boston's North End, and he's going to be my special guest today. Last year he came on when it was Columbus Day, and he talked about all the special events going on and some special foods. And today we're going to talk about the special things going on in Boston's North End for Christmas time and some of the film projects he's been working on, his book, and he's going to share with us a special recipe that's great for the holidays also. So stay tuned for that, and I will give you some tips on how to cook healthier Italian dishes. People are always asking me if Italian food is really healthy, and it actually really is healthy if you know how to cook it in a healthy manner. It can be really healthy for you. After all, it's the Mediterranean diet. So I'll be sharing some tips for that. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. And I just want to remind everyone that I will be doing 2 wine pairing dinner events at the Ridgewood Winery in Bechtelsville, Pennsylvania on January 29th of 2023. That will be in the new year. And February 10th, that will be a Valentine's Day themed dinner, wine pairing dinner. And you can sign up for those events online at eventbrite.com. If you have any questions about the events, you can email me at info@marialiberati.com. Each event will be a 4-course dinner with wine. So it will be a wine pairing. They're going to have a charcuterie board also. But yes, wine pairing their wine is really wonderful, and it's such a beautiful winery. So just wanted to remind everyone, stay with me. And here are my tips on how to cook healthier Italian dishes at home. Do you love classic Italian dishes like pasta and pizza, but hate how bloated, unhealthy you feel after eating them? Well, it is true that many Italian dishes are loaded with carbs and fats. You don't have to completely give up the foods you love. Here are a few tips that will help you to cook healthier versions of your favorite Italian dishes. Tip 1, cook with less meat, or don't use any real meat. You can use a meat substitute. One way to make your Italian dishes more healthy is to cook with less meat or a meat substitute. While meat often provides you with servings of protein, meats can also add lots of oils and fats to your food. Eating a lot of red meat in particular can increase your risk of developing diabetes, heart disease, or suffering from a stroke. If you still want the benefits of having protein in your food, try adding lean meats to your Italian dishes instead. For example, you could make spinach and chicken ravioli instead of spaghetti with ground beef, or you could use spinach and tofu in ravioli instead of spaghetti with ground beef. This will help your Italian dishes to have more nutrients and be healthier. And there are lots of meat substitutes out there. Not all of them are healthy, so just watch what the ingredient list says. Make sure you're eating healthy meat substitutes. Use whole grain pasta. Many Italian dishes also have an unhealthy reputation because of the complex carbs that are in many of the foods. Complex carbs are found in white bread such as pizza crust and many types of pasta. Eating too many of these carbs can increase your blood sugar and cause you to gain weight. If you still want to enjoy eating your pasta and bread, but don't want to eat so much white flour, which is really unhealthy for you, try using whole grains instead. Whole grains are packed with nutrients such as vitamins, iron, and fiber. There are many brands of whole grain and protein pastas that you can easily purchase. You can also buy or grind whole grain wheat flour to make your own bread, pizza crust, and pasta dough. And if you have to eat gluten-free, there are tons of choices out there today for gluten-free flours and gluten-free pastas. The next tip is to add more vegetables. This is my favorite tip. I love vegetables, and I really bump up my dishes with a lot of vegetables. Another way to make your Italian dishes healthier is to add more vegetables to your meals. There are many creative ways to sneak more vegetables into your meals. This is particularly helpful if you have a family full of picky eaters that don't always like to eat vegetables. One easy way to add more vegetables to your Italian dishes is to add the veggies to your pasta sauce. You can dice and saute your veggies and add them to your sauce for a delicious chunky texture. If you want the nutritional benefits of vegetables but don't love veggie chunks, try cooking your veggies and blending them into your sauce. You can also cook spinach and add it to almost anything. Your Alfredo sauce, cheese tortellini, and traditional pizza could all benefit from the addition of some delicious cooked spinach. If you're extra brave, you can even make vegetable noodles out of squash or zucchini. So if you're trying to clean up your diet by eating healthier but do not want to give up Italian food, and you shouldn't, remember these tips. Make sure to cook with less meat or no real meat and use healthy meat substitutes. Use whole grain pasta or gluten-free pasta if you have to eat gluten-free, and add more vegetables. These approaches will help you to make delicious and healthy dishes that your whole family will love. And I will have these tips on my blog at marialiberati.com and the marialiberattishow.com if you didn't get a chance to write down those tips. All right, today my special guest, it's become a yearly thing he's a good friend of mine, but he's also a talented chef and actor. You've seen him in a lot of movies, and he's kind of our resident expert for Boston's North End, which is, I guess it's like your do they consider it Little Italy, Frankie?
Yes, it is. It's the little Italy of Boston, yeah.
Of Boston, and it's Frankie Imbergamo. And it's like a yearly tradition that he comes on and shares some stuff with us. So we'll have some fun tonight. He's also going to share a recipe for chicken cacciatore from his book, The Good Life. So stay with us. He'll be sharing that recipe. Frankie, thanks so much for being here. And I guess you were going to tell me, it was really
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. So there's a documentary. Tell us about this new film that you might be doing.
Yeah, there's a new film. They're doing a life story documentary on Julia Child. As you know, she was from Massachusetts. She lived in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Right.
And they're doing a documentary. Right now, we're in the process of filming in different areas of Massachusetts. So they're going to be wrapping in the next couple of weeks. So I'm hoping to get a part. I did get a call from the Screen Actors Guild. So we'll see what happens. And I'm working on that right now, getting ready for that. And then we'll be having more movies after the holidays, like around February, March. Right. We have like Adam Sandler's coming back to Boston. David O. Russell, the director. They're going to be doing some films here. And we're also going to have Jennifer Lawrence, I heard, was going to be coming here doing a movie. So we have we have a lot of movies in Boston. We're pretty up there with New York. We're doing pretty good. We had like, in the last like few years, we must have had at least 25 movies in a couple of years.
And you've been, people don't know it, but because you're a character actor, but you've been with you've appeared with Sandra Bullock and gosh, the list goes on and on, right? Tell us.
Yeah, I was on I've been in about 52 movies right now.
Oh, wow.
I started doing this about 15 years ago. And I remember like the first couple of years, it was like maybe 3 or 4 movies. Then it starts progressing. I think in 2009, I was in like 13 movies.
Wow.
In 1 year, a lot. And then it starts to, then the COVID hit us, that slowed it down a little,
Right. Tell us about that. Can people still find that series that you were doing online? Is it called The Pizza Makers or something?
That's gone. We just did matter of fact, I'm glad you mentioned that. My director, Chris Palermo, and we just did, we visited every episode and we did an audio podcast on every episode. So if you go
Great.
to Pizza Makers, it's, Pizzer Makers, it's Pizzer Makers.com. You can go on YouTube or you can go on the Pizza Makers Facebook page, and you'll see
Yes.
some videos. We have some audio. We just did some audio. He wanted to do a podcast on an audio, like zero in on each episode, which we
Right.
completed 3 months ago. So
Oh,
that's on there.
wow. That's great. Yeah.
That was a very popular web series because we were written up in the Boston Herald. We were in a contest at the Child's Playhouse. We came in second place.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. If you haven't seen that series, you definitely need to check it out.
Yeah.
So tell us what's happening in Boston in the North End, like anything you can tell us for Christmas, any specialties or any, special things going on.
Yeah, on December 11th,
Uh-huh.
every year they have Santa Claus comes in on a helicopter and he lands in the North End Park. It's a baseball field.
Ah, yes.
The North End on Commercial Street, and
Uh-huh.
he gets off the plane, the helicopter, and he has these people helping him. They give out toys to all the kids. And that's a traditional thing they do every year, and it's
Uh-huh.
sponsored by the NEAA, the North End Athletic Association.
Yes, yes.
They run the little leagues and all the sports in the North End for the kids.
Yes, yes.
That's a traditional thing they do every year. This year it's
Uh-huh.
December 11th.
Oh, that's great. Do they have a
I,
Christmas tree lighting or anything like that they do? Do they have a Christmas tree in somewhere there?
They have matter of fact, I'm glad you mentioned that. Boston Common, they every year they get a 60-foot tree from Nova Scotia. They drive
Oh.
they drive it in, and it's going to be lit on December 1st.
Uh-huh.
It's in the process. The Boston Common is one of the major public parks in Boston. It's a really
Wow.
big. There's swan boats there in the
Uh-huh.
summertime. They
Uh-huh.
have they have a baseball field there, and a softball. They play softball there, and they have a tree every year. It's a tradition from Nova Scotia, and then Boston. They incorporate. They collaborate together, like, and do different things together.
Uh-huh.
So that'll be happening December 1st, lighting of the tree. And
Yeah.
they have a little event. They'll have music, refreshments, and people around there. When they plug it in, everybody goes crazy with all the lights.
Oh, I'm sure it must be beautiful.
Cool. And then we have
$60.
Faneuil Hall Marketplace,
Uh-huh.
Quincy Market they call it. And
Yes.
it's all the stores and shops and restaurants, and all decorated up. And then we have the Seaport area. Seaport area is all the kind of high-end restaurants, and everything's
Right.
on the water. And they have a lot of events down there too. And,
Oh, wow.
in the North End on Hanover Street, we had outdoor dining, but it came down November 1st.
Oh, okay. What about like any kind of I know there's a famous pizza place in the North End that you had told me about. What's that? What's up with that? I didn't get a chance to stop there yet, but
yeah, it's called the Pizzeria Regina. And,
that's it.
That was the first brick oven pizza place in the country. And that was
Wow.
opened back in 1920. So that's famous, Pizzeria Regina. And they have a few locations now. They branched out a little bit. We have one here in my hometown, Medford, Mass.
Okay.
We have it's a little different than the original one. Only sells pizza, beer, and wine. That's it. No salad.
Square pizza, or is it the round pie?
It's a round pies, yeah.
Round pie. Oh, okay.
Not the Sicilian place in the North End is called Umberto's, which is a famous place also. They have like the best Sicilian pizza. And they sell arancinis, they sell calzones, they sell a few products.
Wow.
And, the Regina Pizza, they kept it traditional. All they sold when they opened was beer, wine, and pizza. And it's still like that. That's the only the North End one, the original.
They still do that then. They kept the tradition.
Yeah, now the one they have one here in Medford, Mass. They have a few more around, and they have salads, and they have pasta dishes. It's like a regular restaurant.
Right, right.
So that's the way that is. That's a very famous place.
Uh-huh.
I think
wow.
I sent you a couple of pictures before. You might have them still.
I might. I have to take a look. I'm pretty sure you did, because I wanted to try and stop there, and yeah. If you can, definitely. We'll put them up on the website for anybody that wants to take a trip to Boston. It's such a beautiful place to be, especially at Christmas time. Sounds like it's a great
Yeah, it's
Great
nice.
place to be at Christmas time.
It's like a mini New York City. It's like
Right,
Philadelphia.
right,
Like
right.
I consider Boston, Philly, and New York very similar.
Very
You know,
similar,
especially
yes.
Italian traditions. Italian, we all have in Little Italy.
Yeah, and
Our
I'm
city.
sure there's a lot of great bakeries there that make Italian, lots of
Oh
Italian
yeah, there's a
pastries.
famous bakery in the North End. There's two famous ones that have been around for many, many years, and
Uh-huh.
they're unbelievable. It's called the Modern Pastry.
Right.
The other one's called Mike's Pastry.
Uh-huh.
Mike's Pastry is kind of more famous because the presidents have visited there, past presidents.
Oh
Clinton went.
yeah. Right.
The Pope actually went in there. The Pope visited.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, we have one in South Philly too, in Philadelphia, that the Pope was at also, and I think Luciano Pavarotti, and But so what's their like? Is there any specialty there you know of, especially? I'm sure they have cannoli, right?
Yeah, Mike's Pastry is famous for the lobster tails. It's
Oh,
a
wow.
it's a lobster tail puff pastry type thing. And it's
Oh yeah.
three different types of creams in there. And it's
Oh
really, really good.
geez.
And the cannolis, modern pastry is famous for their cannolis. They seem to win a lot of awards every year,
Oh,
growth. Yeah. And people come from all over. When you go in, like if you go into North End today, like
right.
after around 2 o'clock, there'll be a line in Mike's Pastry and there'll be a line at the Modern Pastry, which is diagonally across the street from each other.
Oh, they are. Wow. It sounds like, does Mike's Pastry also have sweet things, or is it more salted things? Because you said they have lobster. Mike's Pastry, do they have sweet like pastries also?
Yeah, they have like they're called banana boats. Like they have
Uh,
cannolis, they have fettuccine,
uh-huh.
Napoli. You
Oh, so
know,
they do have a whole lot of
yeah,
pastries too. Wow.
they both make a lot of ricotta pies. They're
Uh-huh.
famous for
Yeah.
ricotta pies, a big seller, and it's very delicious. They also have now the Modern Pastry had upgraded their place, and they put a coffee shop in there too.
Oh,
So you can
that's
sit,
great. So you can sit and enjoy your
you can
pastry
have
and coffee.
like cappuccino and it's espresso, and you can have like a piece of pastry. You know,
Yeah, a piece of pastry with your cappuccino or
my
espresso. That's
pastry
great.
always they have a small section of little tables that have coffee as well.
Oh, that's great. That's really nice. So you can stop and do that. So, Frankie, I know you were going to share with us, and this is from his book called The Good Life. And we're going to have a copy of it on my website, the marialiberati.show.com and marialiberati.com. But he's going to share with us his recipe for chicken cacciatore. It's from his book, The Good Life. And I think it's a great recipe to do for the holidays, don't you, Frankie?
Oh, it's a great recipe. Yeah, it's a very old-fashioned type dish. It's old school,
Right.
but
Yes.
people. It's delicious because when you have that, you have a nice crusty Italian bread with it and glass of red wine, maybe
Yeah.
and it's all like I use all the chicken breast. I used to use the white meat. I know when I
Right.
was growing up, my mother threw in the bones and everything, and that was the original way with the
Right.
legs and breast and thighs,
Yeah.
everything. But I make mine like boneless because I feel it's we like the white meat better,
Right.
and also it's like I think it's safer.
Yes. Well,
No.
I think, way back they used to just use all the chicken because they didn't really have money, and people generally just used all the parts of the chicken. Now, they didn't just get the chicken breast, but you're right. It is. So, but yeah, so tell us your recipe. Tell us how we're making this chicken cacciatore. And for me, because I'm vegetarian, I do get you can also use like they do have fake chicken, and you can also use the fake chicken. Do the same thing Frankie's saying, but just get like a tempeh or a soy-based chicken. There's lots of chicken substitutes out there, and do the same thing he's saying, and you can substitute the chicken if you want to do that. But anyway, go ahead.
What I do is like I got a lot of friends who don't eat meat either, but they do eat fish for
Right.
some reason.
Yes.
So they use shrimp, you
Uh-huh.
know,
Oh, that's good.
substitute
Yeah,
fish.
if you eat, and I
Yeah,
do eat shrimp, so that's a good idea. You can use shrimp
so
instead if you
you
want
can
to. Yes.
you can use the same thing for vegan dishes. The substitute chickens they have.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Buy that. You can buy that at Whole Foods and Wegmans. They sell all that stuff.
Yeah, they sell a lot of that in a lot of places. Yes, yes. All right,
All
so
right, so
tell us.
this is Frankie's chicken cacciatore.
Yes.
I'll give you the ingredients first, then I'll tell you how to prepare it. Okay,
Yes. Uh-huh.
that sound good?
Yeah,
Okay, so
sounds great.
you get a lasagna pan, you coat it with olive oil, Then you spread down. I use chicken breasts, so you get 2 pounds of chicken breast. You layer them down in the lasagna pan. Then use a quarter of a cup of olive oil. Then I get 1 pound of fresh mushrooms. I chop them up, cut them up. One large onion chopped. Two large bell peppers, one red and one green. I use 2 28-ounce cans of kitchen-ready tomatoes. 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 tablespoon of ground black pepper. 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. And a quarter teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes, optional for the hot pepper. Now, in a large lasagna pan coated with olive oil, you place the chicken breast in a lasagna pan. You add a cup of olive oil. And when it's hot, you add your mushrooms. This is how you make the sauce, okay? So if you make the sauce, you're gonna coat the pot with the olive oil, and then you place in your cut up mushrooms, your onions, and all your peppers. About 3 to 4 minutes, and then you constantly keep turning for about 15 minutes. Then you add your salt, pepper, and garlic powder. You cook all that, and when all the chicken is laid down in the lasagna pan, you pour all that sauce all over it. You cover it, and you bake it for 30 minutes. Then you take it off. The reason why I bake is because when I serve it on a dish, everybody gets a big chunk of chicken instead of different pieces.
Yeah.
It looks like it's almost like having a chicken parm, like a whole cutlet.
Yes.
And then you ladle all your sauce all over it, and it's very delicious. It's an old school dish. It's really good.
Sounds yummy. Oh, that sounds yummy, and I love it because it's easy to make. It uses all good ingredients that are good for you, and but it's really easy to make. So they're telling me we've got about 8 more minutes left before Zoom cuts us off. So Frankie, tell us, so people can find your book, The Good Life. Can they find that online still on Amazon?
Yeah, if you go to it's called the Boston Gift Shop. It's located in the North End, and they sell the book there. I used to have it at Barnes & Noble, but I just changed over to the local store because a lot of people in the neighborhood can walk in and buy it,
Exactly, and it makes a nice gift if you do visit Boston. Just go to the Boston Gift Shop. And the series, The Pizza Makers, how to tell people where to find that?
The Boston Gift Shop is located in North Square in Boston, right next to the Paul Revere House.
Right. But the Pizza Makers too. Where can people find that online?
You go to Pizza Makers, PIZZER makers.com on Facebook or YouTube, and you can watch every episode. We did about 14 episodes.
Oh, wow.
You can watch if you go to YouTube, you can watch each one. Each episode's about 10, 12 minutes, So it's a lot of fun.
And I was going to say, people can search you out on the IMDb and see all the movies you've been in too, if they want to see some of the good movies you've done.
You go to imdb.com/Frankie Imbergamo, and you'll see all the movies I was in. And
that he's been. Exactly.
I can see some pictures like with The Proposal with Sandra Bullock, Adam Sandler, Grown Ups, all those different movies,
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of things in that, And we're just keeping busy with that, and we're having a lot of fun.
That's great.
I wish all you guys a very happy holiday season.
Yeah, I was going to say Buon Natale to you and everyone in Boston also. And thanks so much for being here and sharing all that with us. And yes, I will put that recipe up on my website, the MariaLiberattiShow.com and Maria Liberati, and it's probably going to be on my Facebook and Twitter accounts too. So thanks for listening.
This was a lot of fun.
Thanks again. Yes, it always is. So we're going to do it next year too. Thanks again.
Definitely, yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right.
Buon Natale. Thank you.
Buon Natale.
Okay.
Thanks for listening to the Maria Liberati Show and joining in. And thanks to my producer, Britton Roselle, and this week's special guest, Frankie Imbergamo, actor, author, and expert on Boston's North End. And as always, you can find me on Facebook at Chef Maria Liberati, on Twitter at Maria Liberati, on Instagram at Maria Liberati, my Roku channel, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking by Maria Liberati, my Vimeo channel, the Maria Liberati channel, on YouTube as well, and my blog and website at marialiberati.com, the podcast website website at the marialiberattishow.com. My latest book, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, Diaries, Seasons. It makes a great gift for Christmas. You can find that online. And the book that's become a tradition in many households for the Christmas season is The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, Holidays and Special Occasions. That's the one that I won the Gourmand World Award for. And as always, until next time. Oh, and one more thing, I just want to remind you of the dinners the wine pairing dinners that I will be doing. I'll be doing a 4-course dinner plus a charcuterie board at the Ridgewood Winery in Bechtelsville, Pennsylvania on January 29th. And the next one will be a Valentine's Day themed 4-course wine pairing dinner on February 10th. If you'd like to sign up for those events, you can go online on eventbrite.com and sign up for the events. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at info@marialiberati.com. And until next time, peace, love, and pasta.